What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update. In this video, we're going to talk about the virus and the new virus strains, as well as the $2,000 stimulus check and the $600 stimulus check, when we should be expecting both, and the latest on each of those. But first, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates. And don't forget to hit the like button for us. It really helps out our channel. All right, let's jump right into it, guys. A new COVID-19 model based on the actual data, cases, and deaths that we're having right now predicts that we could have up to 150,000 more US deaths within the next month. This is very, very significant because we've now hit over 20 million cases in the US, people that have tested positive, and 300 and let's call it 50,000 deaths for round number, 348,000. So if they're going to add 150,000 new deaths in just 30 days, that's almost a let's call it a 40% increase of what we've had ever will happen in just the next month. Here's our new cases per day. Yesterday's cases are down, reporting's just down because it was New Year's Day. But we're averaging around 200 and some cases, 200 some thousand new cases every single day. If we change this to deaths, you can see we actually hit an all-time high of 3,800 on December 30th, which is a new all-time high. This is more than 9/11 and Pearl Harbor each. And you can see the trend of both cases and deaths are shooting up. The reason the spikes are up and down is just the way reporting happens. Reporting on the weekends and obviously December or January 1st, which is New Year's Day, the reporting just doesn't come in as well on the weekend. So it's kind of why you see these spikes it's basically every weekend. But you see the overall trend is just higher and higher, and uh, it's just not looking good. All this comes while there's a new strain that has come from the United Kingdom and Africa and is now in the United States in Florida, California, and Colorado. So this new strain of the virus is now in 3 different states, and this is exactly how the first strain started. And the problem is this new strain, they say, is up to 70% more transmissible. So it actually transmits from person to person even easier than the current one does. And that's really the biggest problem with what I would say is the current virus, is how easy it spreads. Just literally through your breath talking to somebody. Even with a mask on, a mask definitely helps, but your breath still kind of comes out a little bit. So if you're at the grocery store and you're buying a box of granola bars and then you're wearing a mask, and then the next person comes in right after and breathes the air that you were breathing, you can still catch it with a mask. Masks definitely help, because it doesn't shoot your breath out 6 feet. But that's the biggest problem with this virus, is how easily it spreads, literally just through breathing. So with this new virus strain coming out, it'll be interesting to see if the current vaccine helps with it, if they have to have a new vaccine. I personally think that this virus will end up similar to how the flu is, where every year you need to go get a new flu shot. We get flu shots every year because we we just do. So we get flu shots every year, and every year there's a slightly different vaccine, a slightly different strain of the flu in the vial based on that year's current flu. So because it mutates a little bit every year, I think that might happen with the coronavirus also, where every year, if you are one of those people that do that, if you get a flu shot, you might get a flu shot and a coronavirus shot basically back to back or at different times to kind of help prevent from both of them going forward. Because honestly, we just might see this mutate, and some mutations are going to be worse than the current one we have now. On the second stimulus check, the $600, a lot of you guys have told me that your deposits that were pending for Monday have actually gone through today. Let me know if that happened to you guys, if you had your $600 pending in your bank account and it said pending for Monday and actually came through early. I know some banks are doing that. A lot of people are saying that their deposits are still for Monday. A lot of people are saying that they got their $600 per person yet. Let me know what happened with your check down below. If you see nothing, let me know. I know a lot of people will be receiving theirs on Monday. Also, this week coming up, there'll be more and more people that will receive their $600 direct deposit and will start receiving their $600 in the paper mail, in the in the actual US Postal Service mail, along with debit cards, $600 debit cards in the mail. So make sure you keep an eye out for those. Open your mail, and please be very careful. There's a lot of scams going on right now. Don't give anybody your account number, your bank account number, your password. Don't give anybody anything. If they say they're from the IRS and they're calling, it's a scam. Okay, the IRS will not call you. And in fact, they're way overloaded. They don't have time to call anybody. So try calling the IRS, and you're probably going to have an hour-long wait time at least. So along the $2,000 stimulus checks that they're trying to pass, today is the last day before the new Congress comes in. The new Congress actually comes in tomorrow on Sunday. What does that mean? So they have today is the last day that they can pass any outstanding bills before they have to be re-voted on. So that $2,000 Cash Act, this is $2,000 stimulus checks for adults, $2,000 stimulus checks for children, $2,000 stimulus checks for adult dependents. Yeah, so it's an amazing bill. And what it does is it takes your $600 stimulus check and raises it up to $2,000. So if you got a stimulus check, if you're an adult or children that got a $600 check, it raises it to 2,000. If it covers, the Cash Act does cover people who were college children. Can I even say college children? College students, 17, 18, 19, and adult dependents who wouldn't have gotten a stimulus check on the $600 stimulus checks. The Cash Act does. It would provide you for a $2,000 stimulus check. That bill has already passed the House with an overwhelming majority of 2/3 of the people. That's enough of a majority to actually overturn a president veto. So that's a huge majority. So it went to the Senate, and Mitch McConnell basically said, yeah, I'm not sure if I want to vote on that. But what I would be willing to do is I would give you my own bill for $2,000 stimulus checks, but I'm going to throw a couple other things in there. And that is basically removing the $2,000 stimulus checks for adult dependents and adult children and leaving the child check at $600. But it did raise the adult check to $2,000. That's Mitch McConnell's $2,000 bill, which has not been brought to a vote. Democrats don't like that he also added in their Section 230 repeal, which is basically removing liability protections from companies like Twitter so they can't censor you. Democrats are against that. I don't really think it's a big deal. And also, he wants to set up a committee to go over the 2020 election. Again, I don't really think that's a big deal. I think that in the coming days, again, let me back up. Today's the last day for them to pass this, okay? If they don't pass the Cash Act, the one that has already passed the House, then it has to be reset, okay? Because new Congress comes in tomorrow. So what does that mean? That means that anybody that has been voted out from the House or the Senate, they have to leave by tomorrow. I think it's like noon tomorrow, okay? Then the new people come in. So there's a certain percentage of people that were voted out, and unfortunately, no, it wasn't Nancy Pelosi or Mitch McConnell or Ron Johnson. None of them got voted out. They all got voted in, and Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell kept their positions for the time being. Okay, so tomorrow the new Senate and the new House comes in. They can pass a bill right away, either on Sunday or on Monday, which are technically the two first working days of the new Congress. So then they can have to repass the Cash Act. But what they would probably do is they would change the provision that now all of a sudden is a big deal, that less than 1% of people who make over six figures would be technically be able to get a check in this time around because of the checks for children being so much of $2,000. It kind of negates the high income, because over $75,000, your check is reduced by $50 per $1,000 over. So technically, somebody who made like $200,000 and has multiple children, because the check keeps getting reduced, they would still get a little bit of a stimulus check. But even Bernie Sanders said that's literally less than 1% of the money that would be spent. Mitch McConnell's using that as an excuse. So on Sunday or Monday, which is tomorrow, they can pass a revised version of this bill to possibly get Mitch McConnell to agree to it. They'll probably need to just agree to Mitch McConnell's bill, which is $2,000 stimulus checks for adults. That would be a huge increase. That would be awesome to do that. And honestly, there's not really that much in Mitch McConnell's bill that Democrats can't agree to, in my opinion. Now, in a recent poll, 62% of Americans blamed the GOP, which is the Republicans, for the $2,000 stimulus check stalemate. And honestly, that's it should be 100%. And you really can't blame Trump. Trump's the one that spearheaded this effort, but you surely can put 100% of the blame on Mitch McConnell because that bill is sitting on his desk. And had he have just put it to a vote, we probably would have a bill passed right now for $2,000 stimulus checks. Even Republican Senator Josh Hawley said, and even Bernie Sanders said, that there's enough support to pass this bill. They just need to put it to a vote. Isn't it absolutely crazy that a bill can pass the House of Representatives and then the Senate can just decide they don't want to vote on it? Or actually, Mitch McConnell can decide he doesn't want to vote it. Now, here's the thing about Mitch McConnell is on January 5th, which is Tuesday, Georgia has their Senate runoff election, which is the 2 Senate seats for Georgia. Right now, there's 50 Republicans in the new Senate, the new Congress, and there's 48 Democrats and independents. If those 2 Senate seats, basically it's like a tiebreaker election, end up going to the Democrats, and the Democrats are currently winning both of those seats by less than 1%. If the Democrats win both those seats, it'll be a 50-50 tie, and the tiebreaker will go to the vice president, who the incoming administration will be Kamala Harris, unless President Donald Trump and Republicans are going to do something crazy here on the 6th, is when they certify the vote for the election. So on the 5th, we're going to determine if the Republicans are going to keep control of the Senate. If both of those seats end up going to the Democrats, then it's very likely that Mitch McConnell will lose his power in the Senate and he will no longer be the Senate Majority Leader because it would then go to the Democrats if they win both those seats, and the tiebreaker goes to Vice President Kamala Harris. So, what that would mean is that Mitch McConnell would not be able to delay this bill any longer. And then we can basically pass the bill without Mitch McConnell at all because he won't be Senate Majority Leader. Senate Majority Leader, just like Speaker of the House that Nancy Pelosi has a huge, huge amount of power and responsibility. Mitch McConnell literally held up a $2,000 stimulus check that can still be passed today, but he controlled all the power. If that just went to a vote, which is honestly what both sides are screaming for, just put it to a vote and let's see if it passes or not. Mitch McConnell literally took that and said that he didn't even want to put it to a vote. Although he does have his own $2,000 stimulus check bill, at this point, he has not put that to a vote yet either. So if both those seats go Democrat, Mitch McConnell will lose his power. And a lot of people are saying now, because Mitch McConnell is doing this, and honestly, this isn't the first time Mitch McConnell's done something like this. The HEROES Act that passed the House previously, which had $1,200 stimulus checks, Mitch McConnell did the exact same thing. It passed the House, and Mitch McConnell didn't even put it up for a vote. So this is not the first time Mitch McConnell has done this, and a lot of people are saying that this might hurt them dramatically in these Senate races, and this might cost Mitch McConnell his Senate Majority Leader seat and the Republicans, because if the Democrats take over the Senate, the Democrats will have the Senate, the House, and the presidency. That is what they call a blue wave. And they will be able to pass some bills, including possible stimulus packages, without any Republican support at all. And they'll be able to put bills on the Senate floor without Mitch McConnell objecting to them. So if that changes, if the Democrats win both of those Senate seats, the landscape changes completely. And again, I'm not a Republican or not a Democrat. I'm just kind of telling you guys how this works. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I think because it's going to happen either way. I'm not from Georgia, I'm from Ohio. So I can't determine the election at all. If you are from Georgia, I highly recommend you go and vote in these Senate runoff races, whether you're Republican or Democrat. That race is going to determine how our country goes forward. So if you want the Democrats to have all the power, then go vote for them. If you don't want the Democrats to have all the power, then go vote for them, because it's going to be a very, very important thing for our country going forward for the next 2 years, which the first year is 2021, coming out of this pandemic, is very, very important. important. So make sure you're subscribed. I will keep you updated along this $2,000 stimulus checks, the votes, the new $2,000 bills, the Senate runoff races, the Georgia races, and the presidential certification on January 6th, which 140 Republicans say they're going to object to. Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely crazy week with the possibility of having the $2,000 stimulus checks pass within the next few days when the new Congress comes in, or Mitch McConnell has a change of heart and wants to pass it before the Georgia runoff races. I will keep you guys updated with everything. Make sure to subscribe with the bell icon on so you get notifications. New videos come out typically at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.